as we were talking with Barrett in the last hour here, it just looks different right now. There's a lot of things that they're working on, in my opinion, right now to right the ship and to get this thing back on track again. So I would say this to you, okay? I think this Buck game is going to be an interesting ball game here, to say the least here. Let's go over to my friend Philly 500 here and get his thoughts on what he's seen so far. Brother!
What's happening, man? How are you?
I got to give it to you, man. You were patient with Jordan Davis.
Yes, my man. I am his PR guy. We have been promoting him nonstop. And, hey, listen, Jordan Davis looks good. He looks really good. I'm very happy what I've seen from him so far. I see him on third down. I think he looks like he's improved his pass rush. He's got a sack and a half so far this year. And I think the combination of him and Jalen Carter is deadly. It's deadly.
Are you concerned on what you've seen so far, though, as an overall team in the first 8 quarters?
I would be lying if I said I wasn't. There are things I'm definitely concerned about. Some of it, maybe is a little different than other people. A lot of people are worried about the offense and how the offense looks and Jalen Hurts. Not that I don't worry about it, but I just think that when you look at no preseason, then you come out week 1 and you're playing a horrible rain, bad weather, and then you got to turn around and play on Thursday. I just wonder how much all that stuff is compounding what's going on with them. So if this was, let's say, week 6, week 7, and they look like this, I'd be a little more worried about it. Where I'm concerned about the Eagles more than anything is the middle of the defense. I think they got a big problem at linebacker, and I think they got a problem at safety. And teams are going to keep attacking them over the middle of that field. And I don't think they have anybody on the field that can show that they can stop it right now. So that's my biggest concern.
I'm going to get to the defense here in a second. I want to go back to the offense. Well, if the offense is struggling, I want to take that back because they are putting points up. Right. But this is what and you tell me if you think I'm making more of this. So you had A.J. Brown complaining on the sidelines to Jalen Hurts about being open. Mm-hmm. Today on WIP, Dallas Goedert is talking about his role in the passing game. Mm-hmm. So obviously you have 2 players that have voiced concern about their role in this offense. With all that being said, what's different? Is it really the loss of Miles Sanders? I mean, is it Sam Howell? Is it Brian Johnson? Is it Jalen? Or is it all of it?
I think it's all of it. I do think that teams are giving them different, they're showing different looks to Jalen Hurts because there are a couple plays, especially in that New England game where he's just holding up, trying to figure out what's going on a little too much. So I think, you know how it goes. You come out, somebody plays good, defenses adjust, and then the good players, the great players have to adjust to that. So I think that's what we're going through partly. But at the same time, you do have a new offensive coordinator, so things are a little bit different. You haven't played at all. And I think A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert are probably open a lot more, than we know. So they're probably a little bit frustrated. But, I think that, like I said, if this gets to week 6 and week 7, it's still a problem, then I think there's a problem. But I just don't know what is because of the new coordinator, what is because they haven't played, and then they played 2 games in 5 days, and what is Jalen Hurts having to adjust and maybe having a problem with it or still learning. I'm not sure which is the biggest culprit right now.
How about this too? I think they're having him play apprehensive. I've been bringing this up with people. In the New England game, I saw him sliding, pre-sliding. I saw him sliding in the – I get you want to protect yourself and you want to play all 7. I get it. But I think that's affected the entire approach of the offense, that even the passing game looks apprehensive. Him running out in space looks apprehensive. It's almost like there's a confidence issue when it comes to the play caller and the quarterback, and I think it's affecting it. Am I making more of that? Because the next time you watch I mean, last year, he didn't care about the contact that much. This year, he's getting down prior to being hit. And those were extra 5, 10, 15 yards per game. And also, I thought it opened up the RPO a little more. And to me, it just maybe I'm making more of it, Philly.
I have to. I mean, I have to go back and watch because I mean, you could be right. I do feel like if you look in those first two games, I thought there were times, especially in that first quarter, of the Vikings, where they're like trying to run Jalen Hurts too much, like they're trying to force feed it, and it just wasn't there. I think that natural progression for him as a quarterback, I think you have to start to rely as you get older more on your arm than your feet. That's what happens. I think quarterbacks that last in this league, Randall, Steve Young, as they get older, they run less. So, maybe it's just a matter of that. I'm not sure. I really am not.
Let's go on the defensive side. Eagles defense in the passing game, they're ranked 31st in the NFL right now. And Bradbury looks like he's coming back. According to Nick, it looks like Blankenship is trending towards playing on Monday night. And you got Mike Evans, 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons. The guy's a 10,000-yard guy. Yeah. He's 29 years old. This guy's knocking on the door of the Hall of Fame. Baker Mayfield has his Bucs 2-0. That's a pretty good-looking defense on that side of the ball as well at every level. Yep. I mean, 31st ranked defense in the pass game. You're giving up 400 yards in total offense. I mean, concern going into that Monday night game?
I think if they keep playing the way that they're playing, it is a concern. I think it'll be a close game. I think the spread was like, I forget what it was, but it was under 7.
It was like 6.5, and now it's 5.
Now it's 5. See, when it's around 5 or 6.5, that always makes me wonder what's going on, But I expect it to be a tight game until the Eagles kind of get rolling. I think it's going to be. However, the defense is concerning, but it's the middle of the field. I mean, you look how New England should never have been able to move the ball like that, but they just kept going to those tight ends, kept going over the middle field. I think that's a problem with linebackers and at safety right now, and I think that's where the area they got to fix. I'm not so concerned about Slay and Bradbury. Bradbury didn't play Monday night, so I'm not worried about those guys, but I do worry. You got no Avonte Maddox now. Nakobe Dean did not look good in that first game, and then he gets hurt. So you're real thin at linebacker, and then for whatever reason, I don't think they have given Sidney Brown an opportunity to start right now, and then you had no Blankenship. So I'm a little concerned about that middle of that defense.
How about this too? Maybe what's affecting that secondary a little bit is the ineffectiveness right now of Hassan Reddick because of his injury. Because when Reddick gets pressure and forcing fumbles and tackles for losses, you're pressuring the quarterback. You don't have a lot of time sit back there. They did create 4 turnovers, that defense, in the last game. So, they've been, as Tona said, they've been a little bit opportunistic here. Still, we all said it. I think you even said it too, Philly, that, this defense is going to take a little time to gel there. And the offense can't have 3 and out. So this thing, they're putting them really in a pretty tough position right now. So Reddick's injury may be bigger than what we think.
It might be, but you know what else I noticed is if you look at the New England game and you look at Minnesota, look how quick the quarterback gets the ball out. Yeah. They're getting the ball out like that. Like it's got to be like 1.5 seconds. It's gone. And you're playing 7-8 yards off the receivers. All they do is turn around. So I think that the Eagles, I'd like to see them press a little bit more, push up and challenge those receivers, and maybe get the quarterback to hold the ball longer, because everybody's going to be scared of the Eagles' pass rush and 70 sacks last year. They're getting rid of the ball quick. The one play where Josh Sweat caused the fumble, the defensive player, I think it was a linebacker, slid over, and he wanted to go to Jefferson, but he had to hold the ball just a little longer, and it gave the defensive line chance to get to him. So I think maybe some adjustments got to be in order, because teams are going to just get rid of the ball like that. And if you give them 7-8 yards cushion, they're just going to take it all day.
Couple last questions for you. Your thoughts on the coaching, head coach, coordinators on both sides?
I haven't been that impressed with the coordinators on both sides. I was hoping I would like to see Sean Desai a little more aggressive. And as far as the offensive coordinator, there is just some calls he made. The first game versus New England, and then I would say maybe the first quarter in the Vikings game. What was nice was that he actually decided to start running, and we got to see DeAndre Swift and what he could do. And I tell you this, if Gainwell does not get hurt, we would have not have seen DeAndre Swift. They would have gone with Gainwell. So I think we caught a giant break because I think now everybody knows DeAndre Swift's your number one running back.
What's their love affair with Gainwell?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I thought maybe, it was because, he was drafted and he's been there. But, I mean, you could clearly see that the difference in explosiveness between Gainwell and him. It's obvious. And I really wonder if Gainwell plays that Minnesota game, would we even have seen DeAndre Swift get that opportunity? I don't know.
Do you think Sirianni should take over the play calling if this thing goes sideways on Monday?
I don't know about Monday. Like to me, I know this sounds crazy, but we're only in September, and yep. Literally these guys didn't play at all preseason, right? So they didn't play all preseason. Even the offensive coordinator hasn't had a chance to adjust. And then you go from week 1 to week 2. How can they really fix anything in that short of a time from the New England game to that Vikings game on Thursday? So I actually thought in the second half of that game, I thought they started to kick off some of the rust and kind of get into a rhythm. So I expect them to be a lot better on Monday night and start to play better. But I still don't know how many games they need really before we can start saying, we got to do something.
How about this one here? Last one here. Do you think Monday dictates this? I think they're going to stick with people in-house right now. But if something looks bad, pass defense, I'm not saying lose, but something pass defense, linebackers aren't cutting it. Does Howie make a trade? Because next year, it's like 12 or 14 picks they're going to have, plus the compensation picks. Do you start packaging some of those things up to go to somebody and try to make a trade? I mean, do you think that Monday game kind of dictates that? Because if they win, they may just go in-house.
Oh, yeah. I think it's already in motion. I don't think it matters whether they win or lose. I think it's emotion. I think Howie's doing his thing, man. He's calculating them calculations. He's figuring it out right now. You don't. I don't need another week to know that you got to do something at linebacker and at safety. So I think that it's already in motion. And it doesn't matter what happens on Monday night. That's what I think.
Cowboys are the best team in the NFL right now.
Totally overrated. Totally overrated.
Wait a minute.
Wait. The Giants couldn't pick their nose for 6 quarters. Didn't know what was going on. Then he plays, Zach Wilson, the greatest backup quarterback ever. They played nobody. Let me tell you, that Jets game completely changed when Sauce Gardner drops an easy walk-in pick 6 for no reason. They didn't play anybody yet, Sills.
How about the 49ers?
49ers are good. 49ers look good, and Purdy looks better than I expected. I mean, I'm not saying Dallas isn't bad, but everybody around the league bend the knee to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not doing that. We'll see what they got. I don't think that their offense has looked all that great, and they've played literally 2 offenses that can't do anything. But I still think it's the Eagles, Niners, and Cowboys in the conference.
Do you still think though that if you really had to put the first, and people go, well, it's 2 games. Well, there's only 17 of these, so there's not a lot of them.
Yeah,
the Dolphins have probably looked the best.
Yeah, I mean the Dolphins, they could score, man. I mean, they could score points, and Dolphins have looked pretty good. Although I thought New England did a pretty good job against their offense for a while, which made me feel a little bit better about how we played. But yeah, I mean, It's early. It's really, only the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl in September. But what do they do in December, right? They lose, they choke. It doesn't matter. I have seen this so many times with Dallas.
Here's their September trophy.
That's it. They haven't done anything. And I'm not saying that they're bad. We'll see. But it's like, okay, when we had Andy Reid and we would go to the NFC Championship game every year, to me, it didn't matter what we did in the regular season. It was like our season doesn't begin till we get to that point we haven't been able to get past. I need to see that from the Cowboys,
Just
That's
not
how
sold, right? Is there anything the Cowboys could do to sell you?
Trade me Micah Parsons.
Trade him to Philly, right?
Well, yeah, he'll be an Eagle eventually. But no, I think that if the Cowboys beat some teams that, are pretty good. Like, okay, I think they play San Francisco in a few weeks. You go out and you beat the crap out of the Niners. I'm going to say, dang, Dallas is good.
I think they got a layup game this week, too.
Yeah, they got the Arizona. I mean, Arizona blew 2 leads in the first 2, just like I expect Jonathan. Hey, I'll tell you this. If Jonathan Gannon was our defensive coordinator, we would be 0-2 right now.
Oh, yeah.
I have no doubt.
Hey, Philly, great point. Look, I think the side with all the shit that's going on back there, I think he's done a decent job. I'm good. Yeah, I'm okay with him.
Yeah. I mean, there are things I'd like to see him do, but I do not believe Jonathan Gannon would have held on to that Vikings game. There's no way. No way. Hey, Sills, I wanted to say I saw the interview with Rock last night, man. I thought that was fantastic, man. I thought that was fantastic. What a great guy.
I can't believe how – and get this, Tone was with me. You should have seen this, dude. He spent like another 8-10 minutes with me after asking me about my daughter, just cutting things up. I mean, he could have stayed all day with us. I mean, I know they've already said they're going to do it again for us in a couple months. So, I mean –
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, man, we got a really great friend. I didn't know that he even knew who I was.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know that he played at Miami, but it was really cool. And we're becoming closer and closer friends. I mean, he's texting me now. We talk. Who would have thought? Get this.
Yeah.
I got $22 in my pocket, and I'm friends with Ice Cube and The Rock. Right. Fame is overrated, Philly. Always remember that. Fame is overrated.
Yeah. Absolutely, 100%.
Tell people where they can find you.
Just type in Philly 500. It'll come up. You'll see me probably yelling at the camera or something, but there's always something going on. So, but I love that interview, man. Yeah, I love that interview.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Philly.
man.
Thank you, man,
Take
for
care.
spending time. Such a legendary podcast that he does. This show's fantastic. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, my man. Peace.
You got it. All right, folks. I've been telling you this now with our friends at Hooters. By the way, okay, you've seen the code word that's been going through the last 3 hours. And all you have to do is email us your information. You get an opportunity at winning yourself some great gift certificates with our friends at Hooters. It's the 40th anniversary. You see the email right there, dancillioshow@gmail.com. We got 2 new winners. We've already done this now 2 straight weeks. Congratulations. Look at Maniac. Look at the Maniac, man. Jersey guy right there, man. He's part of the winning crew here with Andy Snyder. Congratulations to you guys. All you have to do is email us the code word. You get in line. And next Monday, we will announce the winners of this week's picking of the gift certificates from our friends at Hooters. Hit the timeout. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. We're going to take a timeout. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
Football and Hooters, the perfect